Today's adventure brings us to Silver Lake in Perry, New York, and we're going to talk about the Silver Lake Sea Serpent. Let's get started. In the community of Silver Lake in Wyoming County, New York, there is a local legend about a lake monster that turned out to be a hoax, which is still remembered and celebrated to the present day. In 1855, the owner of the local Walker Hotel concocted a scheme to entice more guests to board at his establishment. Taking inspiration from local stories attributed to the Seneca Nation about a large slug-like monster that once lived in Silver Lake and perished after a thunderstorm. The hotel owner and a group of his friends secretly designed and built an elaborate serpent using wire, painted canvas, and bellows. They floated their creation in Silver Lake and used the bellows and attached hoses to make the monster rise and fall in the water. After releasing the monster during a few moonlit evenings to frighten fishermen and residents, the hoax worked to create a widespread rumor about a sea serpent living in Silver Lake. Despite this not being a sea, news spread and people came to get a glimpse of the creature. The hoax lasted until 1857 when Mr. Walker's hotel burned and the charred remains of the creature were discovered. Locals still enjoy telling this story, and the community holds an annual Sea Serpent Festival and Parade. The festivities include the creation of replica sea serpents. One will also find sea serpent art installations throughout the hamlet created by local artists out of wood and metal, in homage to the original hoax sea serpent, now fondly recalled and celebrated. So it's not clear if this is actually what people were seeing out there, but it could be an artist's rendering of the actual sea serpent that people were being led to believe actually existed in this lake. It's definitely the highlight of this trip. Let's get a nice close look at it. Now, for the longest time, I thought this thing was going to be made out of either fiberglass or steel, but in all actuality, this is a wood carving. So looking at the body style of this thing, it makes me believe it's literally based on renditions of what folks were seeing in Loch Ness and other lakes. So I'm not even certain if the Silver Lake Serpent actually looked like this. You know, the manifestation of the Silver Lake Serpent. This here is definitely artistic liberty, because I doubt that they went through the trouble of making a mechanism that was actually this big and this detailed. So in a lot of ways, this is actually a lot cooler than the actual serpent itself. But this thing is very cool. It's definitely worth the entire trip to come out here and see it. Now it's located right off of the golf course. So I would pan to the right, but there's actually a lot of private houses. I would pan to the left, but there's actually a lot of private houses there. But the lake is to my left, and this statue here, this wooden carving of the Silver Lake Sea Serpent, is to my right. Again, how cool is this though? It would be so neat if this was actually a thing and it looked even remotely like this. Of course, Silver Lake itself isn't exactly big enough to harbor even one creature like this, let alone an entire family of them. Again, this is definitely something to see. It was worth the trip to come out here all by itself. taking nothing away from Silver Lake, but this is certainly neat. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger too, but again, that takes nothing away from this. Looks like it might need a little maintenance soon. As long as this thing has been up there, I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of folks that come out here periodically and give it a fresh coat of paint, which I think it definitely needs. But wow, this is definitely one of them roadside attractions that's worth coming out and seeing. So it's kind of crazy to actually think about how far this would have went if that garage didn't burn down. Would still people still claiming to see a sea serpent out here in these waters if they actually still thought that there was one? You know, the power of suggestion can be a very powerful thing indeed. So one can only ponder how that would have turned out if the hoax itself wouldn't have been uncovered. Now, that being said though, you wonder what the Senecas were actually seeing out here. You wonder what actually spawned this legend. Were they seeing a giant eel? The creature was described as being slug-like in nature, so it's very hard to figure out exactly what they were seeing that could spark this kind of legend. The Senecas were a very, very spiritual, sacred people, so there has to have been something tied to it. It could even be tied to the great serpent legends. And of course, it didn't take the owners of that hotel long to exploit that to garner tourism. Now, another thing that I've discovered pretty fast about Silver Lake here is it's almost 100% privately owned. So it was difficult for me to come out here and actually like get shots of the water, the piers, the docks, and our friend right behind me. So what I did, I had to kind of stealth it, but I did get permission from the people who ran the golf course to go like around back and go get shots of the water for the making of this video. So just kind of be careful when you come out here because it's all privately owned, it's all private residences. So I parked at the golf course, so definitely don't, you know, try parking in a parking lot that's probably attached to someone's home. That wouldn't be very good at all. And with that being said, we're out of here. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when videos drop. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And we will see you next time.